Alright, in this tutorial we'll take a look at creating our first assembly using Fusion 360. In the end, we're going to end up with these 5 components, and there are 5 of them, and assemble them into this cube. So first off, you have to go through and make each individual part. Set the color. Hopefully it's dimensionally accurate, because if not, you will have what's known as interferences, which is something we will check for. So first thing we need to do is make all 5 individual parts. We can't just make parts, we have to actually turn these into components. The good news is you can take any part and turn it into a component. Once it's a component, we can insert this into a design and then start to assemble these together. So we'll take a look at first creating a part and turning it into a component. So I'll start with creating one of these parts. I'll take this red one for right now. A couple rectangles, some quick easy dimensions. Part construction is not supposed to be difficult here. It is the assembly. We do know that this is 1 inch thick, and it has that part that sticks up out of the top. And that is 1 inch tall. We're going to set the color. These colors are here. I just used paint. And we can paint the entire thing. Alright, so I have this red part, but right now it's not a component. One way to change these into components is to go to Bodies, right click, and create this as a component. I can still come back and I can edit this, but now it's listed as being a component, which will allow me to bring it into another design. So I'm going to save this, and we'll call it Red 2. So when I start a new design, I now have the ability to bring this in. Well, I'll show you what's going to happen. I can't bring it in because I need to save this file first. This is something with Fusion 360. They want to know what this is called first. So I'm going to call this something like Assembly Cube. This will be my second one. Now I can insert this part in here. I can change the orientation, but for this one I would start with this one because all the other parts somehow match up with this one. From here I'm looking to add more components. So let's take this yellow one for example. I'm going to insert this into the design. Well, I need to rotate this actually in 2 axes. I can do this numerically. I much rather prefer flipping it. But make sure that you are flipping this in terms of 90-degree increments, at least for this design. And I'm going to change it on this axis too. I guess it is on that right axis. What we are going to perform is we are going to perform what's known as a rigid joint. We're going to pick one point on this that corresponds to another corresponding point on this part. Being that they're rigid, they won't be able to move apart, turn, slide. So I'm going to take one point and this corresponding point, and they'll line up. And right now I'm set. I don't want any spacing in between. I don't want them to slide back and forth. This is the symbol for being a rigid joint. So looking at the diagram here, I don't know, maybe I'll bring this white one that lays across the top. Actually, that's probably not a good one to bring in next. Let's bring the green one in. The green one steps across this back. So I'm going to bring this part in, and I do need to rotate it. I'll rotate it on this axis, and I'll rotate it on this axis. 90-degree increments. Now I'm looking to align these two together. So like this corner here and this corner here would be good ones. I could do this inside corner and this corner here. Either way, I'm going to get these to be a rigid mount or rigid joint, and they're all lined up. Let's bring the white one in next. Insert. I need to rotate this one. Not that axis. I can rotate it again. Let's try this axis first. Yeah, it's better. And now I'll rotate it. Want to find like points. So like this corner and this corner line up. And all I need to do is drop that little blue one in here. Let's move this out before I start to rotate it. So it rotates down, and we'll rotate it there. Okay? And again, like points, maybe the top of this green one to this corner here. That should work. This one down here somewhere. Uh-oh. Let's pick a different point. Say this point to this point. There we go. Whoop, flipped. Why'd you flip? Let's try that again. Let's take this component off. That would be starting off your best bet in terms of fixing a problem. Just be to bring it in again. Let's try that again. Let's join this corner to this corner. Did it again. Why is it flipping in that direction? Only when I want to demonstrate. Now let's try to join these. Let's do this. Of course not. Oh, we got this far. Not going to stop now. Okay. Why do you want to flip? I had it. Alright, it should be stuck in there. There we have it. All these components stuck together. I can't bring individual parts in. That's why we need to make it a component.